Live. Well, wow, it's Monday.
Guys, Monday.
It's already here. The table is full. There are a few gentlemen next to me. We've got a certain Frank Gill, who apparently now lives here.
It's permanent residency.
Wild.
And the man who doesn't live here, but he's here for Thanksgiving break, so he's going to be hanging out with us all week. Jeff Simpson is with us.
What's up?
Excited to jump into the show today. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot going on. Frank, did you take over Andrew's church yet?
Full on new paint, new branding, new elders.
Wow.
I made it complimentary. It's a whole new church.
Wow.
That's wild. It's wild to me because, I mean, that's
Spoken like a church planner.
you've only been there 2 weeks.
Yeah,
You preached a 2-week sermon.
I did.
Multiple people got saved.
Multiple.
Baptized.
Babies too.
Spontaneous baptisms.
Amazing.
All over.
Frank, I'm loving this so much.
But Tim, yesterday was Sunday.
And this is the morning after.
Welcome to the Morning After Ministry Show, a caffeine-fueled look back on the week and ministry that was.
Well, hey, we're stoked to be here with you on this. Jeff, you got to admit, it's a beautiful Monday here in Florida.
Incredible.
I know you're not always thrilled about Florida weather.
Mid-60s, sunny.
But for some reason, you time it out, Jeffy.
I do time it out
Every time
perfect.
you get here, it's like, oh, you brought that Baltimore nice weather.
It's not unintentional.
But it's intentional.
It's deliberate.
It's absolutely intentional. It's a beautiful day outside. We're inside of where we will soon be hosting. We're almost all here, guys. Yeah, we're going to be hosting the Practically Pastoring Conference right here at Lakeview Church, which is currently all decked out for Christmas. There's a Christmas tree behind us. Even our table has the tinsel. Well done, Jeffy.
That's not tinsel, but anyway.
What do you call that?
I mean, I think those are like garlands.
Snozzenberries?
The snozzenberries.
Tinsel is the shiny stuff around the tree.
Frank, I've heard from a few pastors this week looking for conferences coming up. You want to tell us a little bit about why they should probably just come to the Practically Pastoring Conference?
Well, I mean, if you like this weather, Jeff, this weather is going to be the same in February, specifically February 17th.
Maybe even better.
Maybe even better. The Practically Pastoring Conference is a podcast for pastors by pastors where you will be able to make friends, share ideas, and have a lot of fun along the way. And we're excited. We have a great sponsor, Church Merch, that is coming to help make this event even better than it was in the past.
Love it.
We also have some great speakers. We have some special, unique moments where ministry spouses are going to be able to go away and just be able to have a safe place to chat with other ministry spouses.
Yeah.
There's going to be just I'm throwing out free tickets at folks who write us questions that look like they need to be around other pastors. But hey, I want to encourage you to check out practicallypastoringconference.com. And if you, till Cyber Monday, so a week from today,
you got a week. Yep.
Use code Turkey20, you'll save $20.
That's fitting. It's Turkey Week.
It is Turkey Week. Even though we're dressed up as Christmas, it's Turkey Week.
All right, we're going to get into the week in ministry that was. That's what the Morning After Ministry show is all about. Each and every Monday, typically Andrew and I sit down together and we make fun of each other, and we talk about our weeks, the ministries that God has placed us in. This week looks a little different. Andrew's out of the country. We've tried to pipe him in several times. The funny thing is we might be able to get him in right now. Let's see if we can get, guys, this might happen. Let's see what we can do here. Andrew, are you there? Oh my gosh, he's in Disney World. Andrew, can you hear us?
In Paris.
Hey, guys.
He's in Disneyland Paris. What is that? Disneyland.
Can you hear me?
Disneyland Paris. Yeah.
Disneyland Paris. You can't really. Oh, there's his
there
beautiful
he is.
face.
Andrew!
Amazing.
Look at how handsome he is.
Look how stress-free and happy he looks.
He just looks.
What up, fellas?
He looks thrilled to be here. Andrew, how's the sabbatical? Looks like you're really studying.
The study part was last week. This week's a little bit different. My wife's here, and we're at Disneyland Paris.
Have you had any baguettes yet?
I've had some baguettes. I've had some croissants. I had some weird stinky cheese.
Nice.
Okay.
And hey, yesterday was Sunday. Did you guys already do that part? Oh, that'd be awkward.
Andrew, go have some fun. We miss you already. We'll talk soon, buddy. We forgot to tell him that we already did the cold open.
Well, the last he knew was he was going to do it.
Andrew's obviously studying really, really hard. He's advancing his ministry career by taking his sabbatical. Really, he's just having a whole lot of fun and doing what he should be doing right now.
Yeah.
We're super proud of him.
Yeah.
We miss you, buddy. Can't wait for you to get back. Before we jump into the weekend ministry that was, I need to hear from you guys. Turkey Day's coming up. Both of you are probably more foodies than I am. I think you're just better at cooking food. We're all good at eating food.
For sure.
You guys are better at cooking it. So walk me through your go-to turkey prep, and then what's like the one or two dishes, like it's not Thanksgiving without these. So we all have this in our life. Like if we're going to Thanksgiving, even if it's at a friend's house, like you got to have these dishes or I'm bringing them. So Jeff, go-to turkey prep. What is it? Oven? Is it fried? Is it smoked?
I have done a multitude of different ways. The one constant after Amy and I got married, when we would make Thanksgiving, is that we, like 3 or 4 years in a row, dropped the turkey on the floor.
Like on purpose?
No. Like it slipped and fell.
It's a cooking method.
Picked it up. Yeah. Bruised it up real good and it's tender. No, we dropped it on the floor in accident. No, but I usually go pretty classic roasted. The one year that I did something different was like 3 years ago. I made a brisket instead of turkey. Because, I mean, let's be honest. I
better.
know it's tradition,
I
but
know.
turkey's not that great of a meat.
You just have to have
You just
it.
have to do it, right?
Can you do turkey and brisket?
But what's more American than just doing whatever you want?
That's right.
You know
That-
what I'm saying?
I
If
love that.
Thanksgiving is an American holiday, and it is,
Absolutely
what's more
is.
American than just doing whatever I want to do? So I made a brisket because I can. But the sides.
Yeah, this is important.
So my
This is
mom
important.
is Peruvian, and the one side that she makes that I'm like always excited about is basically like a version of stuffing, but it's with rice. So it's got a bunch of stuff in the rice. It's amazing, really good. And
I'm a
then
fan.
my mother-in-law makes a pretty killer broccoli casserole.
Ooh.
That's her thing. She makes that every year. You got to have it. It's not Thanksgiving and or Christmas without it. So
You get them back to back.
yeah, I got it from both sides of the family. It's pretty great.
So who's doing the bulk of the cooking this year? You're at your mother-in-law's place.
I am not actually doing any cooking, which is
Wow.
fantastic. I'm here from out of town, so there's that. But
True.
my sister and her husband are taking care of the oilless fried turkey. So they got an oilless fryer. I think it's like a giant air fryer, basically.
That could be
Like
good, right?
it sounds like it'd be great. Crispy skin.
What?
I mean, amazing.
That actually sounds
and then
good.
my mom said she's making a chuck roast, which I'm excited about. Which, being on the carnivore diet, I'm like, multiple meat options, fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
And then my mother-in-law is making a broccoli casserole, and I know there's going to be pumpkin pie and apple pie, and I'm guessing there's going to be one more side maybe. So I don't love a green bean casserole. I'm more of a fan of like the sautéed green beans with like garlic.
Sure.
So I like to go that route, but that's kind of my go-tos.
I'm a fan of all of those things, Frankie. Similar?
Yeah, so for the turkey, I like to make like this compound butter type of thing, and
Okay.
you get under the skin.
Nice.
And then that like
Yes.
makes it very flavorful. And
I've done that every year too.
yeah, that's a good way to do turkey.
Sounds amazing.
Sage. Got to go.
Yeah,
sage in
yeah.
the
I mean, it's the
butter.
only time you use sage all
thyme.
year.
For real.
I do like. I don't like green beans on a regular year, but green bean casserole kills every time. And then I like. I mean, Thanksgiving to me is like a top 3 meal of the year because it's the one meal where you get your whole plate full and to just smother it all in gravy.
But what's better? How is it not? That's like the top
It's
meal. Right?
so good. I really. I'm just being generous here. I don't know a better meal.
Christmas prime rib is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is true. It's true. But I like his good stuffing. I like a good mashed potatoes. But I love the fact that I can put a good gravy on all of it and still have some crispy skin on the turkey. That's a good deal.
I might be making a guest appearance at both of your Thanksgivings this year. The best part is that you're both pretty close. I could legitimately do 3 different meal options. We're pretty classic. My mom does the turkey every year. My parents do get a honey baked ham with the cinnamon sugar coating, the glazed honey sugar
good.
coating, spiral cut.
That's the best for leftovers.
It really is.
Good
It really
sandwich.
is. Especially if you have like some Hawaiian sweet
You don't
rolls.
even need a sandwich.
You don't
Yeah,
need it.
straight up.
You don't need it. You can just go with the ham. We do green bean casserole. I'm a big fan. My mom does a great sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on it, all the goodies. And Steffi, my wife, does just a couple of amazing dishes that have become staples since we've been married. She does an amazing hash brown casserole. It's almost a knockoff recipe to the Cracker Barrel.
That could legitimately replace a mashed potatoes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's very, very good. And for dessert, I've got to have Oreo cake. Like that's a big part. And my mom does a pumpkin pie every year too. So Oreo cake, apple pie, and pumpkin pie. Those are my top 3 for Thanksgiving desserts.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't say mashed potatoes. Sometimes my mom will make a Peruvian dish with potatoes. That's really, really great.
Yeah, that sounds tasty. All right, boys, let's jump into it. The week in ministry that was, because, well, yesterday was Sunday. This is the morning after. We've got a couple of different perspectives here because, Frank, you just guest preached 2 Sundays in a row, which I'm trying to think back to all the times I've ever been a guest preacher. I don't know that I've ever done back-to-back weeks at a different church like that.
I did during COVID.
Oh, that's
preached
cool.
across
You
the
did.
street.
You were doing double duty, though.
Yeah.
You would preach at your church and then
walk over to the other church and preach.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like for 2 months-ish.
That's
Not
wild.
every week, but I know I did at least 3
Was
weeks
it
in a
2
row.
different sermons?
It was 2 different sermons, but the guest preaching was from a sermon series I had written
Good.
already.
So you weren't having to rewrite.
No, I didn't
That's
write
a lot.
new content, no.
That's a lot. All right, so Frank, walk us through. You did back-to-back weeks at Safety Harbor. So week 1 probably a little bit easier because you're introducing yourself and you have all of your, your funny one-liners that you have used here at Lakeview, which they're all gold, honestly. So how was the follow-up week? Was it a little different?
Well, it's funny you just said that. In my preaching career, I've only preached back-to-back Sundays that wasn't youth ministry related, probably like twice.
Oh,
so
wow.
It doesn't happen when I was a campus pastor. I was on
So
the
you're
teaching
saying Sunday morning preaching back-to-back, it just doesn't happen?
It's very
a lot.
rare.
Okay.
It's very rare. Like usually something bad happened, like the pastor got sick or like
You
they're
didn't
on
expect that second one.
Sometimes they didn't expect it, or sometimes, there's been some times where like on a Thursday, I'm like, pastor's not going to make it. You need to write a sermon. And that's the reason why we do back to back. But back to back, I actually, I was talking to my wife afterwards about this. I got more yelly. I got more emotive in this sermon.
Okay.
I was moving around. I would say, it was less personal about me and more of like the text, but it was, I preached on Ephesians 2:1-10, which is just the gospel, which by the way, I think I know what I'm going to preach on the New Year's sermon for Lakeview.
I think I know what you're going to preach too.
And it was really good. I got some, there was a couple of jokes in there, got some good laughs, got some emotional moments, but like it was able to just open the text up. Also, both of you guys preach from iPads, right?
I just started. I
You just
used
started?
to, and then my iPad got really old, so I went laptop, and now I'm back to iPad.
So-
I've got a newer iPad.
So I got a question for you guys because I did this yesterday and I loved it, but it's something I've never done before. I was gifted a Skylar Bible.
Yeah.
And I want to preach with it.
So floppy.
It's so floppy, great yap to it. It's awesome. But I wanted to preach with it, and so I did. So I had an iPad and a physical Bible.
Okay.
Do you guys bring a physical Bible into your pulpits?
I do not. I have the text baked into the iPad manuscript.
I do
Just-
too.
Same.
It just feels smoother. I'm not against that going that route. I think it's cool to be able to pick up the Bible. You can move a little bit. And you're not so glued to that one particular manuscript. But I'm also fearful of losing my place sometimes. But I think it could work. Yeah. Are you all on one, Jeff?
Yeah, I honestly found that I was like kind of putting on a show by doing that, so I just quit doing it. Like I literally was just having the Bible on
Just to have it?
just to be like I have a real Bible, and it's like nobody cared. So I just went to it's just baked into my manuscript.
Well, I'm still early in this. Like I did it yesterday for the first time, and I think my thing is this: is I am feeling a small conviction about having physical Bibles and letting your people see you read from a Bible.
I get it. It's a real thing.
And so I think that tension, what you said, Jeff, is real though. Like I don't want it to be a show.
I can totally go back to
And
it.
I think the show thing, it depends on your heart, right? Like why are you doing it? And I think like my intention is I want the people to see the Bible physically open.
Yeah.
And then at minimum, they can see that this is not my own words, this is from God's word.
Sure.
But I don't know. It was interesting. There wasn't a ton of people that had Bibles.
Yeah.
In the audience, so it wasn't me like, I don't know. It was interesting, but yeah, Andrew's church is wonderful, very hospitable, very sweet.
They're so
Had
kind.
some great conversations with folks. It was an honor to be a part of it.
Did you stay for food or did you skedaddle to get up here?
We skedaddled because me and Jeff got lunch afterwards.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
with my family.
So I was able to make it to the very tail end of your third service. I did not hear gunshots in your parking lot.
Me neither.
We're in Baltimore again, so that's what happened.
Gunshots happen. It's real.
So there was
I couldn't hear the gunshots over the blaring pad sound during Tim's prayer.
Jeff was so moved by the prayer pads. He came to the altar.
It was tears, bro.
Have you talked about this, the pads? Before?
We're talking about it right now.
Explain because the first time I was here and I saw that, I was very jarred because there was no one on the stage.
Yeah.
And there was
I was
these
like, who's-
beautiful. I thought the angels were descending.
It's a
onto the
very
stage.
angelic prayer pad. Yeah,
Yes.
we ask our sound guy to kind of fade in the prayer pads, mainly because we do an intentional time of congregational prayer each and every Sunday. Like if this was just every now and then, I don't think we would do it. But because we have literally 3 to 6 minutes of congregational prayer baked into the end of every service that we do here, having something to fill the room instead of just silence is kind of nice. I know it feels weird at first, but I think
we fill our silence with people praying, but
would you stop it? We pray. We pray. Some people out loud, some people not
what's
out loud.
actually funny is our kids are in their service during prayer and they pray.
That's
which
cool.
is
That's
actually
sweet.
they're
do like
never on
that.
topic, but always cute.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
No, I get it though. If you're asking people to do like a silent introspective prayer and there's nothing happening in the room,
Right.
I mean, you might hear gunshots. So
We
pad sounds is smart.
The pad sounds did muffle the gunshots. So I actually thought, because I saw volunteers bringing in Christmas decorations, like gearing up for me to say amen so they could then storm in and start decorating the place. I thought someone dropped the decorations that just happened to sound like pop, pop,
See,
pop.
I did think that. I did think, somebody must have dropped something
Yeah.
in the lobby.
That's what I thought.
And that might have been what I heard.
It was it.
Okay.
So it was 3 distinct pops. Apparently, we had a deer get hit by a car on East Lake Road, which is the main drag right out.
big road.
It's it. There's 50,000 cars that drive by this church every day on that road. It's huge.
Going 50 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of deer. He stumbled onto our property. One of our key volunteers saw him, called the sheriff. Sheriff pulled in and said, "Oh, we got to put him down." And before our volunteer could then radio our safety team, you hear 3 gunshots go off, probably 200 yards from the worship center, maybe less than 200 yards.
That cop really wanted to shoot his gun.
He really wanted to fire his gun.
Florida, man.
We had safety personnel literally rushing out the door. I didn't know what was going
With
on.
their guns drawn.
Like they didn't know what was going on. You hear gunshots and your safety, like you are kicking into gear.
Yeah.
Turns out that they were just taking care of the deer.
Yeah.
We did give the deer to a member who had it strung up and was skinning it and dressing it within hours. So deer's getting put to good use. We might have some venison jerky by the end of the week, boys.
Amazing.
Maybe
that'd be
some,
awesome,
some for you to take home, Jeff.
Excited about that.
I can say that's the first time that I have heard gunshots during the sermon. Even though I didn't know at the time it was gunshots.
Jeff's like, that's every other weekend.
For Jeff, that's not that.
It's not quite that bad, but I do hear dirt bikes a lot during church. Yeah, people ride them up and down the street.
Just to be idiots.
Yeah.
All right, so Jeff, let's switch gears here because Frank's been preaching. I've been preaching. You did not preach. You did
not.
something that we don't get to do often. Frank, you'll get to do this for a couple of weeks now that you're off the clock. But you got to attend church with your family. Like, show up to whatever service you wanted.
It was nice.
There was no responsibility. I don't know if you were monitoring your live stream. Maybe you had to do that.
No, I didn't get any text messages. Hey, good job, everybody.
That's awesome.
If you're watching.
So
Great
walk
job.
us through that vibe as a pastor who just gets to be a church attender for a Sunday.
Well, it was helpful that the music was good. The sermon was good.
Good.
Things were well organized. Checked my kids in.
Good.
I wasn't greeted as quickly as I wanted to be, Tim, but other than that.
That's what Dad's
I
fault.
tried.
No,
I
it was,
tried.
the atmosphere here was great on Sunday. We got here, and we've been to this campus before. I got married in this very spot almost.
You've been here many times.
So I've been here, so I know where things are, kind of. But things are changing at Lakeview because
shifting?
things are growing and rooms are different, used for different things. There's people playing disc golf right now out the window, but
And hey, it's great outside.
it looks great outside. It was nice. It was great, and I just got to go to church. It's always a good reminder. I don't know what has happened in the last few years, but I find myself not as judgy as I used to be.
That's great.
So I don't know if I'm experiencing some more freedom or
I think
what.
that's called maturity.
Maybe. But I don't find myself thinking I would do that different or this different. Or I
That's
just
so
kind of-
nice.
He's just not paying attention
Like
as
to-
much as he used
Oh, he
to.
was definitely zoned out. I saw that.
Yeah, I was taking a nap. No, it's great. It's always great when you can do that. I would recommend you do that once in a while as a pastor. Even if you get a chance, even not on vacation, just go to a service and maybe in town and just support a friend or something like that. But yeah, got to come check my kids in, sat in church with my wife and her mom.
That's cool.
And then went to lunch with a
Sit
friend.
right behind my fam.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I sat right under the heat lamp you got going.
Sorry about that.
There's one.
We
ceiling-
haven't switched out the LED, and that was still halogen bulb,
It's
so
like a halogen.
it'll
light.
keep you warm.
Yeah,
He's like that rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
in the
Jeff
hot-
was rotating.
hot
I
bar.
felt like a fry at McDonald's, just getting ready to be served. But yeah, it was really, really, really nice and really fun to do. I didn't get any text messages from my team like, "Oh, we don't know where this is," or the password, or
That's
any
great.
of that stuff.
That's huge.
So
So you really did get away.
yeah,
Like on a Sunday, which is rare for us because typically something happens,
Yeah.
something goes up.
and typically at my church, it's something like I didn't leave them a password for
Sure,
something.
it's your fault.
But I made a notebook, so
Look at
apparently
you.
that helped.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Brittany, who serves in our kids ministry, love this. She says, imagine the distraction of the security team running to the woods while trying to lead kids in song motions in the student center. So the student center is basically right next to where the security team was sprinting to because that's where they heard the gunfire. Brittany, thanks for not breaking stride and you were just plugging away. I know you probably didn't even break character at all. She just stayed in the zone and
Nice.
led
The
those kids.
The kids probably had their back to the window. Too,
They
right?
wouldn't have seen it.
So she's seen them.
Brittany's on stage leading, so she would have seen
Man.
the action.
Fantastic job.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Hey, we didn't finish 1 Corinthians, but I made an executive decision when we were doing the sermon calendar because I was kind of mapping out where we would be during December, during the Advent season. The last few years, we've actually just decided to stay in the sermon series that we're in and then still do the Advent-y things, but not necessarily the sermon portion.
Yep.
But I noticed that 1 Corinthians 6 and 7 lined up perfectly for the Advent season, which if you know 1 Corinthians 7, that's basically like the notorious sex chapter of Corinthians. And I just felt, I don't
Hey,
know.
first time guests.
Like, are we gonna
that are
spend
here for Christmas?
2 weeks of the Christmas season in that mode? I didn't feel right about it. So we're pivoting. We're going to be in Luke chapters 1 and 2. Can you go wrong there? Like I almost want to write this in such a way that I could preach it every year with slight variants.
Can you feel the saints who have gone before you smiling that you're doing the Advent season?
Yes, mainly you.
And the church fathers.
Mainly
they're happy
you.
with you.
Like, but what do we? So every year this happens, right? We have to. You've got to go into the Christmas story. It's the Christmas season.
Yep.
There's only so many texts that we can go to for this particular time of year. So, like, when do you start repeating? That's kind of my question. Like, how soon is too soon to not just? I mean, repeat a text. Like, we can update the sermon, but like, if we're repeating the text, are people going to get annoyed with that, or do they start expecting? Of course, we're going to be going through the birth of Jesus during the Advent season, and you can obviously mix it up. But I'm thinking, like, if we like just like walk with me for a second. Imagine us 3 plus Andrew. That's 4. We all wrote an Advent series. Could we then share each other's Advent series and then rotate between those 4 for now
every 4 years.
until all eternity? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 4
I don't know about all eternity, but,
but
yeah.
like for a season?
Yeah.
I mean, would that be wrong of us?
I think you can probably, I hate to say get away with, but you can do the same sermon series probably 2 years in a row, and then you got to do something different.
Yeah.
But I think 2 years
I'm not
in a
trying to be
row-
lazy. Like,
No.
I really want to lean
It's like
into
talking
it.
about Easter. Like,
It's the same
what else
thing.
am I going to preach about?
Right. I don't know, Frank, what are your thoughts? Have you preached through holiday things like
I have preached
Okay.
holiday things.
Okay.
I think your people don't memorize your sermons
100%.
as much as you think they're going to remember your sermons.
You're right. You're right. I think they'll remember an illustration more than they'll remember an application
Yeah.
or an exegesis.
I think it's like when I was a worship pastor, people would say, you know, if you're as a worship team kind of starting to get sick of a song, you're like, man, we do this song a lot. Most people in your congregation are just now like, oh, hey, I know this song.
True. Yeah.
like you're already
it's-
sick of it, and they're
It's
just
even more
learning
so
it.
like that with a sermon you preached once a year.
I think if you could figure out at minimum a 3-year cycle, that will keep it fresh enough where like there's clearly no like redundancy.
Right.
And then by that 4th year when you start the cycle over again, 1, there's probably going to be some turnover, but 2, your people won't remember this and it might be fresh for them.
True.
Boys, you know what would be amazing? Is if like somebody in church history would write like a place where you could get a text from, and it would be divided into years A, B, and C
Look at this.
Oh, like a 3-year
for the Advent season,
Look at
and
this.
they could call it like the Revised Common Lectionary.
Oh, man.
And it would already have the text picked out for you in a 3-year cycle.
This is why everyone needs a good Catholic friend.
Genius,
so you can have
guys. That would be amazing.
What's
Yeah.
the evangelical version of this?
just do the Revised Common Lectionary anyway because you're Protestant and you do whatever you want.
All right,
That's
fine.
what I say. No, for real though. The lectionary is a great tool. I don't use it year round, but it is a great tool for like the Advent season.
From time to time.
There's 3 cycles.
Yep.
And there's a reading every week.
Yep.
There's a Old Testament, a New Testament, a Psalm, a Gospel.
That's good.
And so you can just do those every week. There are churches that's what they preach from. They preach from the Gospel in the Common Lectionary every week. For us, though, we've typically done the historic Advent, like hope, love, joy, peace.
Sure.
This year we're doing Luke 2. We're just walking through the narrative. So
Nice.
I'm all in. Steph says, Tim, got a question, school question. This is an assignment for Lucy, who is my 4th child. You guys ready for this? What kind of pie does everyone prefer? And if you're watching out there, you're listening, make sure you shoot a comment in here as well. Boys, you can chime in. What kind of pie are we going for? Pecan.
No, you said it right.
Okay.
Pecan.
Apple, chocolate, pumpkin, cherry, or other.
Now, is this Thanksgiving pie or just pie general? Because pumpkin and cherry are not. I'm sorry, chocolate and cherry are not.
It sounds
in my
like-
mind for Thanksgiving.
I mean, we do have chocolate pie at Thanksgiving, though.
I'm not saying you can't have them. I'm just saying
Not necessarily
I don't think
Thanksgiving.
of them as a Thanksgiving pie.
Well, the question is, which type of pie do you prefer? So I think it's pretty open-ended here.
I think I do love me a good chocolate pie. However, I think there's something very like comforting about an apple pie.
Agreed. It feels very American.
I will say one thing that's not on here that's really, really good
Well, other is on there.
is a good key lime pie.
that's a different. That's like a different.
It's a different category,
I'm
but
a
man,
fan.
is it good.
I'm a fan. I have
I'm
no
gonna
issue
go
with that.
ranking here.
All right.
I'm gonna go.
Oh gosh.
I'm thinking it's Thanksgiving Day and or 3 or 4 days after, like
Okay,
in
yeah.
that time window.
That's when
Yep.
you eat it.
I'm gonna go pumpkin with like an inch of Cool Whip on every side.
It's
Gotta do
like
it.
Gotta.
public style frosting.
Got to do it.
So good. Pumpkin, apple with
Okay.
ice cream.
Yep.
A la modi.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go chocolate,
Yep.
cherry, also with ice cream, and pecan last.
All the above.
Fair.
Yeah. But the entire list I'm eating.
I'm fine
Like,
with
there's
it.
no bad on that list.
Erica's going pecan. CJ's going pumpkin, then apple. The rest are not real.
Oh,
CJ, stop it. What is
probably drinks Haterade on the side. Come on, man.
what is happening? All right, Jeff, walk us through your week off. I'm still sermon prepping this week, which is kind of annoying because I want to enjoy the Thanksgiving break, so I know I'm going to have to carve out some time for that. Okay, sidebar. I thought this was a good idea, getting away from Corinthians because of the Advent season, which it is. However, when you are in stride in a book of the Bible, sermon
It's
prep
the best.
is a little bit easier because you already have the background ingrained in you and you can just rattle it off. However, when you shift gears, we're going to be in Luke for 4 or 5 weeks. So now I'm going to have to do like kind of like a whole like get warmed up and loose in a new book of the Bible, which is going to make prep a little bit more strenuous. This week, it'll get easier the next couple of weeks, but this is the week I don't want to have to do a ton of prep because, well, you're in town.
Yeah.
My kids are out of school. We want to hang out. So, Jeff, walk us through your week off. Like,
Well,
you
I
hang
am.
out?
I am gonna have to. I have to carve out some time for sermon prep because I will be preaching
Oh,
Sunday,
Okay.
like this coming Sunday.
yeah. Because you missed this last Sunday.
Because I originally had it scheduled where I'd miss 2, but it's the first week of Advent.
I know. I thought the same
and
thing. I'm with
I
you.
was like, I just really want to be there for that. It wasn't about me thinking I'm the only one that can preach.
No.
But I didn't want the guy that covered for me this last week. He's always game to do 2 in a row, but I didn't want to do that to him this season either. I mean, I do get paid to do this, so to be fair. And then the other guy that typically can preach is at a theological conference out in San Diego, and just getting home. So, but yeah,
Jeff caught that. CJ says, carve out some time. Well done, Jeff.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice. Thank you.
Heard that.
So this week is hanging out a lot at mom's house, but typically because I have younger kids, there's like a 2 to 3 hour window of time every afternoon where they're like either chilling out or taking a nap.
Sure.
That I can then sit down with a laptop and do some prep. I did do some prep before I left though. Like I did some preemptive reading, couple commentaries in Luke. Read the gospel first like 4 or 5 chapters. Just
Fine. You're ahead of me. Okay. That's fine. You
well,
can say that.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. But the rest of this week is just basically hanging out time and then find a window of time at Starbucks to go be quiet for a while and try to write. Not today, though.
Not today.
Today we
got a
worked
packed
out.
day.
We're doing this. We're hanging out.
We were in a cyber truck.
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about this.
We were in a Cybertruck.
We had-
We're in the future.
Not driving.
No, we literally full self-driving. We have a Lakeview member he's been trying to get together with me, and I said, man, what if we waited until my buddies are in town and you take us out for a spin, give us the full tour? And is this guy not a wealth of knowledge? Can you see why I could talk to him for hours?
It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Like, he is so smart and
He's
just
funny.
hilarious.
So smart.
We had a blast in the Cybertruck. Frank, you're finally off the clock. I know you've been off the clock, but you preached 2 Sundays in a row. So
did.
there's some weight there when it comes to Sunday preaching.
Yeah.
Now you're not Sunday preaching for about a month,
Yeah.
right? Maybe
Yeah.
right at a month.
Yeah. Right about a month. Yeah.
So what do the next few weeks look for you and Corey, getting settled, getting ready to close on a house?
Yep.
This is a busy season.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna look like me just enjoying attending Lakeview.
Love it.
Corey and I had a disagreement yesterday about which service we would attend.
What are you thinking?
I would like to come to my dream situation is arrive to Lakeview towards the end of the second service so I can see some people and
As
then-
they're leaving.
and then attend the third service. Corey was like, go to the first service and then stay after as the second service starts.
Okay. You can't go wrong either way.
Yeah, those are polar opposites. So, but as far as the time goes, yeah, I mean, I think all the big things that we need to shop for our new house is done. Now it's just waiting for the house to close, which is going to be at the end of the month and end of December. We got a little trip to Disney World with some friends that we're gonna
Looking forward to it.
go watch. What's his name? Read the Bible to us.
He will do that.
Who's
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris is going to read the
He's
Bible to us.
really good at Bible reading.
Yeah, at Epcot, and then I'm going to Nashville to see family for Christmas.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so I won't be here your Christmas Eve service.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
He's not on the clock till
But
January
you will
1st.
be here for Easter at least, right?
yeah, Lord willing.
Not that I care. I'll be gone, but
So yeah, it's a good time.
Erica says Lakeview Turkey Bowl. Erica, thanks for bringing this up. Yeah, every year on Thanksgiving we have our this coming Thursday is our 8th annual Turkey Bowl. So boys, you're obviously invited. You can go hard. You don't have to go hard. I
might
usually
have to do it.
I usually
you know
go
what?
about half speed just for fun.
I did bring my turf shoes.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm wearing them right now.
You could totally rock those
yeah.
out there.
Oh, yeah.
So we have quite a few guys
Arm loose.
and gals. Yes, this is co-ed. A few ladies asked yesterday. Absolutely.
Is this flag?
It's flag football.
Nice, okay.
That's boys and girls.
Someone's ACL is going to break.
Someone's definitely getting injured. Every year we have some sort of injury. We'll have a couple of fields set up right out there. We'll have a ton of fun, and then it'll be like 2 hours of fun and 3 or 4 days of soreness
Yeah,
At least.
at least.
That's if you don't pop something. Listen, changing directions after 35 is tough.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
true statement.
It's not easy. All right, boys, we're inching close to noon. My body's starting to scream a little bit.
I'm pretty hungry.
You guys might have some work to get caught up on. Maybe not. What's the typical student ministry schedule this week? For us, historically, this was an off week for us. Like we didn't meet.
Aren't you getting ready to preach for the pastor, though?
Used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a youth pastor, so
Thanksgiving weekend is a high youth pastor preach weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking I'm about to bake that in, Todd. If you're watching next
Smart.
year, that'd be kind of gold for you. We'll see what happens, boys. Anything else?
No.
Hopefully you have your Christmas planning prepped.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you should start working on your
If you
Christmas.
haven't
You should
started,
be done, but
you should be well on your way.
yeah.
Your Christmas Eve should be about mapped out by now.
Yeah.
that's another thing in the discussion we had about preaching the same sermon. Your Christmas Eve service can be pretty close to the same every year.
That's true. And
There are some elements that definitely should be.
And
we do. Yeah.
we didn't
do
talk
all that.
about this on Morning After, but in Practical Pastor, we had a heated conversation. And by
Very
heated, I mean
Steamy.
only Tim was wrong about this.
Steamy.
About whether or not we
Are
should
we-
use
guys.
real candles or fake
I
candles.
wasn't going to do this in your house, Tim.
It's okay.
in your
It's okay.
house. I will say,
This is our first year doing it. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how our people are going to
I
take
know
it.
what not to expect: wax on the chairs.
There
Yeah.
will not be, and Jeff, you can
I can
see.
see it,
Yeah,
Jeff?
can
You see the wax?
I mean, I see like 2 spots. It's
on every chair. I know, it's crazy.
worth it.
We heard from a couple of moms after last week's announcement that said, we can't thank you enough, which was nice. And then we heard from some that said, Christmas is ruined. So those are the 2 extremes. Either this is awesome.
Did it fall along mom and dad's? Because that'd be funny if the moms are like, "Thanks, it's safe,"
Exactly.
and the dads are like,
Like-
"What? No fire."
Right, like we have to have
Come on, I'm trying
fire.
to prepare my kids for the world. It's hard out
Someone commented, we like the literal warmth of the flame.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty symbolic. I didn't even
You're
think about
losing
that.
Symbolism.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So,
But, I mean, listen, with a fake LED candle, you can grab the flame because it's a physical object. But with fire, you can't hold it like the Holy Spirit. It's there.
CJ says, how about this? Adults get real candles, kids get fake candles to take home. CJ, you apparently don't know the cost of fake candles.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Like adults get real candles, kids get the fake ones, because typically it's the kids that are dumping the wax all over mom and dad and all over themselves and all over the chairs. That's not a bad idea. Maybe next year, happy medium.
Maybe.
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 We'll see how this year goes. Let us know in the comments what you're doing. Real candles, fake candles.
What time do you do that here? Because I can't, it doesn't get dark here till.
So
You can start like at 5.
yeah, 5:30 is when it
Okay.
gets dark. So we try to do an hour-long service. So at like 5:50, the sun's going down. But at the 7 o'clock service, it's dark.
Okay.
So the later we do 2 services, 5 and 7.
We just do one at 5 and it's already dark.
It's Baltimore.
I know.
You're
I'm just
dark
saying,
at
we're
3:30.
I was just not quite that.
It's dark very early.
Like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
At that time of
Ours
year.
is closer to 6, so we try to plan it out where it's the very last thing we do at the end of the service, which, and then we all sing, Silent Night?
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the,
Of course.
which is it really a Christmas carol?
I think it is, yeah.
I guess. It's one of the newer ones, though, right? Like it's not.
Silent Night? I don't know.
Well, it looks like Brittany is going to go to another church because she said that other churches have real candles. How do you feel about that, Tim?
Brittany, I'm so sorry. If you must attend another church, go to their 3 o'clock, then come to Lakeview at 5. Then, actually, Brittany, what you should do is go somewhere, get the real candle experience, come to Lakeview, get the fake candle experience, and then
But
let
the
us
real
know.
gospel.
There we go. Fake candles, real gospel. Brittany, you heard it here.
Brittany-
Church merch.
No,
that has got to be church. Fake candles, real gospel. Tim,
We're
that's
passing out
Lakeview Church.
Christmas Eve T-shirts, fake candles, real gospel.
Amazing.
Brittany, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. Bring your own candle. Bring
shoot.
your own
Brittany
candle.
would
Hey, I
legitimately
like
do
that's
that.
very Protestant. Tell me
Wow.
what to do from the hierarchy.
Erica says Harry Potter candles. Yes, we have some of those at my
Witchcraft.
house. Yep.
They just start floating.
Brittany says, I'm notorious
They
for
really are.
going to multiple churches on Christmas Eve just for the candles.
it.
I get
Nice.
it. I'm always excited to see what other people are doing on Christmas Eve. I
It'd
just
be weird to go do that on Good Friday, but for Christmas
not
Eve,
not a Good Friday thing. You could absolutely do it on Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. That's fine.
that's a happy time.
Hey guys, we got to get some lunch. You've got work to do. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. We miss you. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Yeah. See ya.
Coming out.